Beneath the blue waters off a small Greek island, deep in the jungles of Mexico, in the desolate Supe Valley of Peru, high on a dusty hill in southeastern Turkey, and far below the streets of Malta. Across the world, pieces of our past hide in plain sight, temples buried in silence, machines centuries ahead of their time, and cities swallowed by the sea. Today, we're uncovering the 15 most mysterious archaeological discoveries ever found. Real places, real artifacts that continue to puzzle scientists, historians, and explorers alike. In this journey, you'll see them for yourself. A wooden idol older than the pyramids, carved by people who shouldn't have known how. An entire city hidden beneath the sea, and a stone disc that no one on Earth can yet read. Each one is real, each one reshapes history, and each one asks the same haunting question: how much have we truly forgotten? We'll travel from Siberia to Peru, from the deserts of Egypt to the depths of the Mediterranean, exploring discoveries that prove ancient humanity was far more advanced, creative, and connected than we ever imagined. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. And if you like this kind of storytelling, please subscribe. It's a small click for you, but a huge help for the channel. Imagine stepping into a Siberian peat bog, mist swirling, and raising your eyes to a towering wooden figure. The Shagir idol. Carved from larch over 11,000 years ago, this ancient sculpture is the oldest monumental wooden artwork ever found. Its body is a flat plank etched with zigzag lines, multiple anthropomorphic faces, and geometric motifs that may represent the forest spirits, the sky above, and the underworld beneath. Scholars propose it might encode a creation myth or a ritual map of the cosmos. What makes it even wilder? It was carved by hunter-gatherers, not a full urban civilization, yet they crafted something so complex. And despite its age, the wood is preserved because the peat bog created a tannin-rich, low-oxygen environment. Picture yourself beside the figure, its carved eyes watching you, as you wonder, what stories did the people of that era tell around the fire? What connection did they feel to wood, stone, sky? Now, jet over to the lush delta of the Diquís Delta in southern Costa Rica, where hundreds of near-perfect stone balls, some weighing up to 15 tons, lie scattered amidst jungled mounds. These are the stone spheres of the Diquís. No one quite knows why they were made. Ceremonial markers? Alignments for the sun or moon? Status symbols of chiefs? The stone perfection and huge size hint at a society that valued show and meaning. What ups the mystery? Many spheres were removed from their original contexts and even blasted by banana plantation workers in the 1930s when clearing jungle. Some still sit in gardens today. Imagine being in that tropical light, walking beside a ball taller than a person, polished like a mirror, asking, who stood here first, and what were they saying? Picture this: a bustling port city of pharaohs and merchants, temples rising, processions thrumming. And then, over centuries, it slips beneath the waves. This is the story of Thonis Heracleion, the lost Egyptian city rediscovered under the Mediterranean. Divers found colossal statues, sarcophagi full of animals, temple walls breathing through salt water. The site gives life to the myth of cities lost to the sea, and forces us to ask, how many other civilizations vanished quietly? Imagine pulling coins from a temple floor where floodwaters rose 1,000 years ago, where priests walked. The layers of sand and salt tell of shocks, earthquakes, rising seas, cultural collapse. Here's the twist. What we think of as mythic, cities swallowed by the ocean, may have happened more often than we believe. And beneath the waves lie clues to how our ancestors responded to climate, catastrophe, and divine wrath. Now, shift to the deserts of Egypt. The Great Pyramid of Giza stands, silent sentinel across millennia, built for the pharaoh Khufu over 4,600 years ago. Engineers marvel, historians puzzle. But scientists recently discovered something else: a vast hidden cavity inside. Using cosmic ray muon imaging, researchers found a tunnel-sized void above the Grand Gallery. Its exact purpose? Unknown. It could be a structural stress relief, an unfinished chamber, a symbolic corridor. Imagine, you're inside dark limestone blocks that each weigh tons, echoing your footsteps. And above you lies an empty 30-meter void. Invisible until now, it's like the pyramid is breathing secrets. Empires built this to conquer death, claim eternity. And even now, the monument reaches out. We're still decoding it. Enter the subterranean tomb of China's Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor, and the spectacular terracotta army. Thousands of life-sized clay warriors, chariots, horses, each face unique, all part of a funerary complex built to accompany the emperor into the afterlife. The twist: the central tomb chamber remains sealed. Ancient texts describe rivers of mercury, traps, treasures. But archaeologists haven't cracked it yet. What might lie beneath? Picture entering a hall of stillness, rows of kneeling clay spearmen facing east, baked earth beneath your boots. Humankind molded an army of clay for one man's immortality. And here's the mind-bender. Perhaps the man didn't just want to rule a country. He wanted to rule the underworld. High on a dusty hill in southeastern Turkey stands a site that rewrote human history, Göbekli Tepe. Before the pyramids, before Stonehenge, hunter-gatherers here carved vast T-shaped pillars up to 6 meters tall. Around 11,600 years ago, each monolith is decorated with animals: lions, vultures, snakes, wild boars, guardians of a forgotten mythology. This was supposed to be impossible. Agriculture hadn't even started, no cities, no kings. Yet these people organized labor, architecture, and symbolism at a monumental scale. Archaeologists call it the world's first temple. But what was it for? Ritual feasts? Ancestor worship? Cosmic alignment? And when they were done, they buried it on purpose, entombing their own masterpiece beneath tons of earth. Maybe to seal away sacred knowledge, maybe to protect it from the gods themselves. Göbekli Tepe whispers that civilization didn't start with farming, it started with faith. In the desolate Supe Valley of Peru lies Caral, a city so old it predates the Incas by nearly 4,000 years. Long before Machu Picchu's terraces rose, Caral's pyramids already loomed over the desert. 5,000 years ago, contemporary with Egypt's earliest dynasties. Yet no evidence of warfare was found. No fortifications, no weapons, just musical instruments, woven textiles, and vast ceremonial plazas. It was a civilization built not on conquest, but on culture. Archaeologists uncovered quipas, knot-based recording cords, suggesting early communication systems. Flutes made from condor and pelican bones hint at rituals filled with sound and wind. Caral is proof that peace, trade, and spirituality could birth civilization as powerfully as war ever could. Its pyramids were the heartbeat of a people who looked to the stars and built harmony in stone. Beneath the island of Malta lies a labyrinth cut into limestone around 4000 BCE, the hypogeum of Hal Saflieni. 3 levels deep, it's part tomb, part temple, part acoustic mystery. Inside, archaeologists found the remains of over 7,000 people, along with red ochre wall paintings, spiral carvings, and an eerie chamber where sound behaves in impossible ways. A male voice chanting in that oracle room reverberates at 110 Hz, creating a resonant vibration felt through bone and skin. Was this designed for trance and ritual? Or did ancient Maltese builders simply stumble upon acoustic magic? Either way, the sound science says it wasn't random. The hypogeum feels alive, a stone womb where sound, death, and divinity meet. And in that sacred darkness, one might sense that the ancient world understood frequencies of the human soul we've long forgotten. Deep in the jungles of Mexico, archaeologists uncovered enormous basalt heads, some weighing over 40 tons, each with distinct features: helmets, lips, eyes, expressions frozen in authority. These are the colossal heads of the Olmec, carved around 1200 BCE. No texts survive to tell us who they depict. Warriors? Rulers? Deities? But their craftsmanship is astonishing, quarried miles away, dragged through swamps, polished by hand. The Olmec civilization birthed the great Mesoamerican cultures that followed: the Maya, the Aztec. Yet we know them mostly through these silent stone faces. Each head radiates power, humanity, mystery. You can almost feel them watching, as if aware that their makers would vanish but their gaze would not. In them lives the echo of the first kings of the Americas, and perhaps the very beginning of organized rule on that continent. In 1908, on the island of Crete, archaeologists found a small clay disc in the ruins of the Minoan palace of Phaistos, imprinted on both sides with 241 mysterious symbols arranged in a spiral. This is the Phaistos disc, dating to around 1700 BCE. Its symbols are stamped, not carved, the world's earliest known use of movable type. Yet no one has deciphered it. Is it a hymn to a goddess, a ritual calendar, a board game, or something more esoteric, a magical incantation cast in clay? Each symbol, a plumed head, a shield, a bird, a ship, seems familiar, but no known language matches. The disc remains one of archaeology's greatest riddles, a message from a lost voice that may never speak again. And it reminds us, for every mystery we solve, a dozen more lie buried just beneath our feet. In the heart of Cappadocia, Turkey, a farmer chasing a lost chicken stumbled upon a wall. Behind it lay an entire underground city. Called Derinkuyu, it plunges over 18 stories deep, carved directly into volcanic rock. Built around the 8th century BCE and expanded for centuries, it could shelter up to 20,000 people, complete with stables, wineries, ventilation shafts, schools, and even a church. Why live underground? Most likely for protection from invaders, religious persecution, or the scorching Anatolian sun. Circular stone doors could be rolled shut to seal passageways like giant vault locks. Standing in those cool tunnels today, you can almost hear the echo of children's laughter, the clang of tools, prayers whispered in candlelight. Derinkuyu wasn't just a refuge. It was a hidden world, proof that even in darkness, humans built communities of light. In the 1930s, excavators near Baghdad uncovered a clay jar containing a copper cylinder and an iron rod, dating to around 200 BCE. When filled with acidic liquid like vinegar or wine, it can generate an electric current. Known as the Baghdad battery, it might have powered electroplating, medical rituals, or served as a symbolic spark of life. No written record explains it, but modern experiments prove it works. If true, this simple jar rewrites part of technological history, showing that ancient engineers may have stumbled upon electricity nearly 2,000 years before Benjamin Franklin's kite ever flew. Imagine priests in a Mesopotamian temple producing small shocks in gold foil or healing ceremonies. Electricity mistaken for divinity? Whether scientific or spiritual, this artifact tells us one thing: human curiosity always finds a way to light the dark. Along the Indus River in present-day Pakistan once stood Mohenjo-Daro, built around 2500 BCE. A city of brick streets, multi-story homes, covered sewers, and an astonishing level of urban planning. No palaces, no temples, no armies. Yet one of the world's earliest great civilizations thrived here in peace and order. Then, mysteriously, it was abandoned. No signs of war, no fire, no conquest. Some say the river shifted, others suggest drought or disease. Walking through its streets today feels eerie. Drains carved with precision, wells perfectly placed, and the famous Great Bath, still watertight after 4 millennia. It's as if the people of Mohenjo-Daro simply stood up one day and walked away, leaving their city to the sands. A quiet mystery, civilization's first whisper of both brilliance and impermanence. In 1999, looters stumbled upon a bronze disc buried on a hill in Germany, dotted with gold symbols, a sun, moon, and stars. It turned out to be 3,600 years old. Now called the Nebra Sky Disk, it's the earliest known depiction of the cosmos. Scholars believe it helped track solstices and agricultural cycles, or even marked sacred festivals aligned with the stars. Those golden dots include the Pleiades, still used by farmers worldwide to mark planting seasons. The disk bridges myth and science, a cosmic talisman mixing astronomy, ritual, and power. When light hits its surface, the gold gleams like dawn, a Bronze Age message that humanity has always sought to read the heavens. It's humbling. Long before telescopes, someone looked up, saw order in the chaos of stars, and tried to bring that order home. (1799) Egypt. A French soldier uncovers a black basalt slab near Rosetta, carved in 3 scripts: Greek, Demotic, and ancient hieroglyphs. This was the Rosetta Stone, the breakthrough that finally unlocked the lost language of the pharaohs. Scholars like Jean-François Champollion spent decades deciphering it, proving that hieroglyphs were not just symbols, but a phonetic language. Because of this one artifact, the silent temples of Egypt began to speak again. The gods, kings, prayers, taxes, poetry, all reborn from stone. It reminds us that sometimes the greatest discoveries aren't new. They're rediscoveries of knowledge we let slip away. The Rosetta Stone didn't just decode a script, it reconnected us with a civilization's soul. So the next time you look at the night sky, remember the Nebra disk. When you flip a light switch, think of the Baghdad battery. And when you read words, think of the Rosetta Stone, the slab that gave the past its voice. Now I want to know, which of these discoveries fascinates you most? Drop your thoughts below, because history's greatest mysteries are still unfolding. Stick around. The fire of legend never goes out.